Good morning. Good morning. Man, oh man. I tell you, this has been an interesting morning. My internet's gone out twice. Oh, Lord have mercy. I just killed my ears. There we go. Shut that volume off. Whew. Yeah. Okay. My internet's gone out twice. Let's see. I went to bed at 9:30. I was up at 11:30. Then again at midnight. Then again at 1:30, 3:30, and then I finally crawled out of bed at 4:15 to get up to my internet being out. So get that going again. And then after I get everything set up here, my internet goes out again. So this is being a fun day already. So let's see here. Good afternoon, Fury. I don't understand the countdown, but all right. And you're saying you're lurking? Well, okay. Be a lurking jerkin. Let's see here. Tyre, good morning. Good morning to you. Retro, I'm glad you've been to the gym already. Got your blood pressure down. That works well. Uh, so, since everybody's noticed the uh, thumbnail of the Silver Surfer splitting off into a female Silver Surfer, we'll just go ahead and hit that one first because Disney had a vote yesterday to kick out Iger and replace him, and somehow or another he managed to win. And right after he won, he made some announcements. And one of them is in the next Fantastic Four movie, they're bringing back the Silver Surfer. And Julia Garner will be playing a female Silver Surfer. Evidently, she's some sort of up and coming young actress, and they just had to have her in a movie. Did it? I'm not surprised. So she will be playing Shalabala, a version of the female surfer from Marvel Comics. Now, I quit reading Silver Surfer and such after I lost all my Silver Surfer collection in 1980. And I just sort of kept up with Silver Surfer after that. I was never aware of a female Silver Surfer. But it says here, however, in the alternate universe of Marvel's Earth 997, Shalabal also became the Silver Surfer. Shalabal was Norrin Rod's uh, girlfriend, fiance, lover, whatever you want to call her. So, anyway, so they are gender swapping, or they went out looking for a female uh, tagline somewhere in within the existing Marvel universe to find a female Silver Surfer. Hey, morning ramen, just to have a female Silver Surfer. Because of course, when you say Silver Surfer, who comes to mind when you think of? I mean, you think of the man. So this is going to be interesting to see how what Disney's going to do here. And of course, as that has already been noted, this movie is going to tank. It is going to be horrible. and not make any money whatsoever. Just like the Marvels with the black Johnny Storm. And it's like, no, that doesn't work that way. No, Sue is Johnny's sister. You can't have a white Sue and a black Johnny and have them being brother and sister. No, that's not the way the stuff plays. Not biologically brother sister. So anyway, that was one of the things that got my goat yet when I read that. Tyre, you're right about that. Okay. That when I was fascinated with the Silver Surfer, that's not what brought to mind to me, perhaps, you know, so front. It was the struggle between him and Galactus, you know, uh, in trying to save, him trying to save planets. So that was the part I liked. That was the part that got me. The struggle to remain somewhat good when serving an evil bastard. All right, now, like I told Ramen. Ramen asked me what we were going on with today, and I told her it was absolutely aimless. There was no theme to today's stuff because there's not. Um, because I keep finding things here and there that is like, okay, I want to talk about this. Hey, Duck Dog, good morning. Let's see. Oh, I tell you, see your comment there about stupid people. Absolutely. I mean, you're absolutely right about that because that brings in. All right, you're going to go to medical school. All right, you're choosing to go to medical school. You want to become a doctor. Yes, I want to be a doctor. I want to heal people. I want to make money. Doctors can make good money, but I want to heal people. I want to make people better. That's my goal as a doctor. I want to make people better. I want to take sick people and make them better. Okay? So you would think that your classes in medical school would revolve around making people better. We'll have that discussion later, Tyra, okay? But well, you do have to have classes on malpractice, Rama. You're right. You do have to have classes on the legal aspects. Okay? But would you expect that you show up to a class and have to listen to this.
Thank you to Wanga relatives for taking care of this small part of Mama Earth, this big part of Mama Earth that the settlers call LA, Los Angeles. Taking care of it so beautifully so that we could still be here. Surviving the violent removal of genocide so that we think that this is a place called LA with no history, no herstory, no past, no peoples. And thank you for still being here. 500 and 200 Gregorian years later. Standing up, fighting up, speaking up, and shouting out, land back!
Land back!
That part. Thank you to all of our relatives who die on these occupied streets every day.
Thank you for all of our relatives who have died on these occupied streets every day. Yeah.
Black and brown and poor people, houseless people from all nations and all generations who died because of the capitalist lie of scarcity, of private property, of money and ownership of Mama Earth.
This is a prayer being offered up at a UCLA medical school required class, not an elective. This was required.
When Mama Earth was never meant to be bought or sold, pimped or played. Thank you to the animas who are always around us, to the ancestors in this room, to the ancestors of these descendants in this room. Thank you to each and every one of you, people who go into this world of medicine because you are walking with your heart and you know that something is wrong and you are walking in love and transformation and liberation. Thank you to each and every one of you. And finally, thank you to Mama Earth, who we poison from and extract from and take from every day, but is still here and without whom there will be no us. Oh, thank you, relatives. Thank you.
Yes, that was the class. Exactly. There is, yeah, the audio is absolute crap. That was the best I could get it to. But during a lecture at a mandatory UCLA medical class on structural racism, yes, that is a mandatory class. A guest speaker. Now, there is no alleged because we heard it, unless you want to call this her non secular prayer as allegedly being non secular to Mama Earth, and started chants of free Palestine and denigrated medicine as white science. Now, some people are saying that the other students, First Amendment experts noted students are protected from compelled speech, including forced participation in prayer or expressing allegiance to any belief or ideology against their will. Lecturer Tina Gray Garcia, self described on her website as a formerly unhoused, incarcerated, revolutionary journalist, lecturer, poet, visionary teacher, and more, was recorded during a March 27th lecture for the mandatory structural racism and health equity class for first year medical students. During a Grace Garcia's first call to prayer by kneeling, only half of the students went to ground. And that on Gray's second call to prayer by standing up, only one student remained sitting, leading a UCLA administrator to allegedly seek that student's identity out on the spot. Now, much like the fireman in New York who got being tracked down and for retraining for booing Letitia James, just further proof, further evidence that if you don't go with and honor the left wingers, they are going to come after you and put you into retraining. All right. So all right, let's see what's this here. I never watched Buffy. I was not a Buffy fan. Okay, so let's share this. Dun dun dun. Spike
I just
explains.
can't take all this mamby-pamby boo-hooing about the bloody Indians.
Oh, I like that.
The preferred term is.
You won, all right? You came in and you killed them and you took their land. That's what conquering nations do. That's what Caesar did. And he's not going around saying, I came, I conquered, I felt really bad about it. The history of the world is not people making friends. You had better weapons and you massacred them. End of story.
Well, I think the Spaniards actually did a lot of. Not that I don't like Spaniards.
Listen to you. How are you going to fight anyone with that attitude?
You don't want to fight anyone. I just want to have Thanksgiving.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, if we could talk to him.
You exterminated his race. What could you possibly say that would make him feel better? It's kill or be killed here. Take your bloody pick.
Maybe it's the syphilis talking, but some of that made sense.
Okay. That's actually pretty good. I like that. Let's see here. I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, Raman, I agree with you. The problem is most of the media would say, and what's your problem with it? What's your problem with it? They got a minority female who's probably a lesbian or bisexual. So, gotta tick the boxes here. All right. Up there leading a non-secular prayer. There's no such, first of all, if you're making a prayer, it can't be non-secular. There's no such thing as a non-secular prayer because you are praying to someone. You're either praying to the Christian God, you're praying to the one of the gods of a Wiccan god or goddess. You know, you're doing the Norse pagan prayers to Zeus and all of them. You know, so there is, she's praying to Mama Earth. Now, as a Christian, I would find that highly offensive if I was to be forced to participate in a prayer to Mama Earth. Exactly. Prayer is a religious act. All right. There is no, it's like the minister that got up before, did the opening prayer for the House of Representatives, I believe. And he broke several rules, which I find amazing. They've got rules for the prayer. You can't mention God. You can't mention Jesus. You can't mention the Holy Spirit. You can't mention salvation, redemption, or the risen Christ. So they ask a minister to come in to lead a prayer, but they tell him you can't mention any of the basic tenets of your prayer. And of course, you have to submit your prayer for approval prior to. So he submitted a properly edited prayer and then went off and gave the prayer as he felt it should be given. Now, they have had Muslims in there to give their little prayers. And I don't know if they restricted the Muslim the same way that they restricted the Christian minister. So, what are we doing? Instrumentals? But anyway, so that's something that sort of chafed me up a little bit here this morning. Let's see here. Let's do the dollar thing here for the fast food people in the room. And the only I tell the fast food, I have been craving chicken sandwiches. And usually when I want chicken sandwich, I go to Popeyes because I want that blackened, heavily spiced chicken sandwich that they've got. Because I absolutely, that just sets me off drooling. So, but then I'd cooked up quite a few. I had some chicken breasts that I needed to cook up before they went bad. They'd been sitting in the refrigerator for a couple, 3 days. So I done my thing, pan fried them, stuck them in the oven to finish cooking, and then as they cooled down, promptly put them in the refrigerator. Put them in some Tupperware in the fridge. So I made my own chicken sandwiches the other night. Oh my God, those things are so good. Hot sauce and barbecue, hot sauce mixed in on the barbecue sauce, and then poured over top the chicken breast. This was mine. The wife doesn't like hers as spicy as I do mine. And then put on a medium low heat and just let there and cook in that barbecue sauce for about 45 minutes. So all that goodness got into the chicken. Yummy, 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 yummy. That was deliciousness. Play from this timestamp. All right, let's see what you got there, Tyre. Back that up a little bit, and now let me share this. Now, you're not going to get me in trouble, I hope here, bud. I'm trusting you.
Ha! Well, you're on like hot butter on the popcorn.
Show you right. These are the rules. We keep the rhymes clean. No hoes, no hip-hop honeys, no automatic weapons, no dead police, no drive-bys, no materialism, and no baby mamas.
What we gonna do? Instrumental?
Look, the winner gets that contract and control of Junior.
All right. Cut your shins off.
Okay, that was funny. That was funny. All right, I gotta go with you. That was funny. So let's see here. Where is the article I was going to pull in? Talking about two. So anyway, your dollar is not going. If you thought, wondered if your dollar was being going nowhere fast at fast food places, you're right. It is going nowhere fast. It's not all in your imagination. Ah, okay. I got you now. Got you now. I understand where you're going. All right. From 2014 to 2024, the average menu prices have risen between 39 and 100%. All increases over that time period outpace inflation, which is only 31%. McDonald's menu prices have doubled since 2024. Popeyes follows McDonald's with an 86% increase, and Taco Bell is at 81. Subway and Starbucks has only risen by 39. Just 8% over inflation. These are the only restaurants where prices have risen by less than 50%. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, okay, this article, all right, is from, where's the date line on this thing? It's not showing. But obviously, this is from this year, earlier this year, all right? Two days after California's $20 minimum wage kicked in. 2 days. All right, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. The old minimum wage for these restaurants was $16 an hour, with an increase of $4. The Post found several chains increasing menu items. The Texas Double Whopper went from $15.09 to $16.89. One sandwich at a Burger King. Frozen meat. Crappy, cheap ass condiments. It's a $17 burger with tax. 17 plus with tax. The big fish meal went from $7.50 to $11.50. With other items going from 75 cents to $1. In-N-Out saw burgers going up a quarter, and soft drinks went up by a nickel. Kevin Hart increased his prices of his all of his drink prices by $1. Sandwiches went up by 50 cents, and fries went up. French fries went up $1.10 to $6. $6 for an order of French fries, people. Potatoes that have been sliced up and deep fried. This has happened in 2 days in California. Oh, absolutely retro. Absolutely, things are worse now than they were under Carter. Ron, the profits on restaurants you're usually are under 20%. The actual profit. By the time they pay that the okay, because by the time they pay, especially if you're a franchise, by the time you pay your franchise fees, then of course, salaries, you got to pay supplies. And don't forget, all these places have to offer their employees either free or reduced cost meals, 50, 60% off of their meals. So and then there's just the waste from overcooking, from cooking too much in anticipation, because, they're fast food, so they have to have food pre-made. And sometimes that pre-made food just sits there too long. My wife used to work at Subway, and the amount of food they threw away at night was astounding. It was simply amazing the food they threw away every night because they couldn't use it. Baked too much bread. While we were dating, I'd stop by the Subway where she worked and closed on the nights that she closed, and I'd pick up a couple, three loaves of bread, bring them home, cut them up, and make croutons out of them. That's what I like about Jimmy John's. You can buy their day old bread. I buy their day old bread, bring them home, and I'll either make sandwiches out of them or I'll make my own croutons. So I'm expecting to see, I sort of made a half assed joke about it, but I really am expecting to see robotics take over a lot of the fast food industry. You don't give your order to a person, you walk up and do a touch screen. You've got a robot in the back flipping the burgers and making the sandwiches. Maybe, of course, you uh, just like at your self checkouts there at Walmart, you put in your bills and get your change back, or you swipe your card. Oh yeah, I know it's already starting, but that there's places out there, few and far between doing it. But I expect to see a lot more of them take over there in California. So what's going to happen is these people, and then of course, they're going to stop, cut hiring, you know, and the people that are working there are going to have to work harder. And it's actually cheaper to pay someone to do overtime than to hire a new person. And service will get slower. So what they're doing here with this $20 an hour uh, m- uh, minimum wage for fast food workers is absolutely, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And for the short term, yeah, people are going to get extra money. But in the long run, the people that are working there are going to have to be working harder, or they'll be replaced by robotics. So California did not do anybody any favors. And of course, the prices of everything is going to go up even more. not only because of normal inflation, but because the uh, cost of having the employees. Yeah, goodbye entry level jobs. Goodbye having, I mean, even at the hotel industry, all right, uh, some of the people we hire come from the fast food industry because they're used to running a POS, they're used to dealing with customers. So, they come in, they do their thing, and, we just got to train them on the things that are different about being in the hotel versus fast food. But it's still a step up, I believe, from working fast food. Maybe not a huge step up, but it's still a step up. So yeah, these people, these politicians, yeah, I'm going to guarantee you a $20 an hour pay raise. You're getting a paycheck. You work 40 hours? Yeah. Man, oh man, that's phew. I would, you know, guaranteed, let's see here, guaranteed before taxes, $800. The government takes their 30%. So your take home pay is 560 a week, give or take. So and see, that's another thing though, is it throws you up into a higher tax bracket. So all your taxes go up. So you may see anywhere between $500 to $550 a week take home pay. Meanwhile, the state of California and the federal taxes, income taxes have gone up, and you're paying more of those. Oh, congratulations, Neil. As long as I hope you get to keep your job. And by the way, good morning to you. This is a lot of stuff for no good reason. Let's see here. Okay, now we're going to take a detour into presidential politics. But it's not the politics portion that we're going to be going the detour to. It's the media framing of the political candidates themselves, of Biden and Trump. This is an article from the New York Sun. Or not New York Sun, but the the Baltimore Sun. Okay. The singular question is on the mind of millions of likely voters as Americans brace themselves for another matchup between Biden and Trump. The reality is we progress in age. It's not merely conceptual fabrication that some age poorly. Da 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 da. A group that is humorously calling themselves the Duty to Warn, organized by Baltimore based psychologist John Gartner, has garnered more than 400 signatures from licensed medical professionals in an online petition on change.org. The signers cite what they deem are their expert observations of Trump's memory and language use, along with his motor skills and overall behavior. One of their cited experts, Dr. Lance Dodds, a former psychiatry professor at Harvard Medical School, who claims the evidence for dementia in Donald Trump has become overwhelming. But when researching Dodds, you quickly discover he's long held a bias against Trump. Dodds appeared on MSNBC saying that Trump has sociopathic tendencies and a loose grip on reality. Gartner also appeared on the same show, comparing Trump to a Frankenstein monster, saying Trump is paranoid, psychopathic, and divorced from reality. This is while Trump was in office. 7 years later, these two men are still letting their blatant bias cloud their judgment despite their accolades and pedigree. Not once do they analyze Biden with the same vigor they gave Trump. Oh, you want a link to that article? All right. Got you covered. That's just it, Raman. They're not going to do Biden. Remember, they suddenly declared that Biden has had a stutter his entire life. And that's why his speech pattern is so broken now, because it's his stutter reemerging. So, no, 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 no. Come on, come on, come on. Here we go. Let's see here. And how else are they? Uh, let's see here. Okay, now here's a story, all right, that is saying that, let's see here, a criminologist. Uh-oh, did I stop sharing? Yeah, I accidentally stopped sharing. My fault. Yeah, it's, oh, crap. There we go. There's the right link. Meanwhile, Harvard's teaching hospital is no longer reporting drug addiction, newborns to child. The FBI, the FBI is no longer reporting in their crime statistics Chicago, New York, Detroit, Los Angeles. And I don't believe they're reporting um, Baltimore either. There's 5 or 6 of the major cities that when you look at their crime stats, those cities are excluded. And they're doing that. Plus, they've also changed it from mandatory reporting to reporting the cities reporting their crime stats to optional. So they only have to report what they want to report. So what a couple of places are doing now are a couple of people who are looking for a realistic idea of crime stats. What they're doing is looking at car theft. And because obviously, people losing their cars is a good indication of what the crime is like in cities. And they're using that as a basis to determine whether or not crime is on the increase or not. Oh, really? If you're, yeah, it's been 47 minutes now, Fury. Okay. I'm sort of rushing through some of these stories because I want to get through them because, like I said, my internet has gone out twice already this morning. And I'm hoping this new router that I was bragging about so much yesterday is not the cause of it. Because that will really irritate the daylights out of me to find out this new router's gone is bad. Because I really like this new router. So here's the article I was going to share. Now again, this guy, uh, Greg Baric, a criminologist explains why keeping Trump from the White House is all that matters. All right, scroll down through the nonsense here. All right. The 2024 election is about Trump posting a video on Truth Social of a picture of Joe Biden hogtied in the back of a Magna pickup truck, allegedly on his way to the funeral of the New York police officer killed in the line of duty. That $50 sticker, which the company also makes one of Trump hogtied in the back of the pickup truck. The guy's just trying to make money. And who's going to buy these big ass stickers to put on the back of their vehicles? Die hard supporters of either one. Now, granted, more Trump supporters will own pickup trucks than Biden supporters. But there's a few of them out there. There's going to be some out there enough to make it worth their while to produce the Trump tied up sticker to sell to the Biden supporters. And the Biden they've already got Biden supporters have got a lock him up doll of Trump in orange in a jail cell. That play off of the locker up that Trump had for Hillary. So anyway, this election has also been about gag orders not going far enough and the failure to implement sanctions to lock Trump up for threatening prosecutors, judges, family members, and witnesses. First of all, gag orders, when you're on trial and the prosecutor has got free reign to say whatever the hell he wants to say, it's not right that the defense is being gagged and can't get out and say what they need to say to clear themselves. The deference to Trump thus far has had absolutely nothing to do with the First Amendment. Really? or the fact he's running for president. Until you're convicted of a crime, and even after you've been convicted, you still have First Amendment rights. You can say whatever the hell you want to say. Now, are you free from the consequences of what you've said? No. But you're still got your First Amendment rights. And as the fact that he's running for president, you can't gag a presidential candidate. It has now this is the part I found absolutely ridiculous. It has everything to do with the institutional failure of the U.S. criminal justice to treat Trump, who faces 88 felony charges across 4 criminal cases, the same as anyone else that who threatens a fair administration of the due process. Anybody who honestly believes that any of these 88 charges, any of them, are not politically motivated and have not been politically motivated from the very beginning. Charges brought by people who ran on the premise of getting Trump, who made that part of their political speeches, who have said it publicly that they don't like Trump, that they hate Trump, that they're going to go after Trump. District attorneys who have been praised by the media for finding new and novel ways of applying the law to get Trump. Laws that have been passed and put into place for 1 year and 1 year only, and written in such a way that the only way that law could be applied would be to be applied against Trump. And then have judges declare a person guilty before they ever set foot in trial. And the trial that is held is not to find out, a trial of guilt or innocence, but how big the fines are going to be. And then to generate the largest fines ever. Ever. So try to tell me that any of these are not politically driven and that he's been treated fairly by the justice system. And meanwhile, charges that have been levied against Trump could easily and should have been levied against Joe Biden. Because Joe Biden was never president. And what Trump did in some of these charges is no different than what Obama did, what Clinton did. They're the exact same thing. What other presidents have done in the past. Meanwhile, we've got vice presidents who are not covered, who are not authorized to have these things, being found with the information, with the same things that they're being charged, that they're going after Trump with. All this, any thinking, reasonable, rational person would point at that and say, this is nonsense. This is politically driven. This is targeted prosecution. This is retribution. This is retaliatory. This is not the fair administration of justice. And then, of course, the must have line. A victory this fall by Trump threatens the end of American democracy as we've known it for some 250 years. First of all, we have never had American democracy. We all know that. We all know that we've never been a democracy. If we were a democracy, then we would still have slaves. Because democracy does not protect minorities. And when I say minorities, I'm not going by people, minorities based on skin color, ethnic origin, or anything else. I'm talking about the lesser numbers of people. Majority wins. Mob rule. You've got a mob of 100 people. 51 of them say they want to go do something. The other 49 have to go along with them. Exactly, Fury. I don't know if you said that before, posted that before I said it or what, but exactly. Oh, Fury, Biden, they found him next to his Corvette in boxes. Exactly. Hey, Spoonie, you're right. Exactly right. With mob rule, the people not part of the mob lose. But these are the stories, these are the articles that are getting out there right now. And Judge Cannon, she is being raked over the freaking coals. Absolutely being raked over the freaking coals because she's the judge overseeing the classified files case, and the left and Jack spearheaded with Jack Smith there. They're doing everything they can to get her thrown off the case. They want her removed so badly because she's not pandering to their wants into getting Trump. But you see, part of the reason, see, another thing though, the Democrats a lesser problem or a lesser come on, publicize a lesser publicized problem that the Democrats are having. And James Carville had finally come out and admitted. James Carville, I've been very vocal about this. It's horrifying. Our numbers among younger voters, particularly younger blacks and younger Latinos, whatever, younger people of color, males, we're not shedding them, they're leaving in droves. They're losing minority males. The Democratic Party, minority males are leaving the party. They're going Republican or they're going independent. If we don't take time to understand their lives, they think all politics is just a bunch of BS, people arguing back and forth. Here I am, 26 years old, given internet rates, insurance costs, and everything else, and everything going on. I don't think I'll ever own a home. I'm living with my parents. I think the whole thing is just BS. I've expressed my contempt or apathy at the system. I'm telling John Della Volpe at Harvard and the Quinnipiac and the Marist people who and everyone else I'm disengaged. Now he's still saying here, and look at this, the bottom line here. If Trump is allowed to pack the Supreme Court, they're going to do nothing for the next 40 years but F with you. Forget birth control pills and reproductive rights. Forget environmental protections. Forget anything. These people are totally committed. So, Carville, of course, had to get his jab in at Trump. But Nina Turner. Oh, yeah, you're right. How to beat, I'm assuming you meant how to beat Trump, not be Trump. Stop effing with him. Stop talking about him. Let him bleed in the wind. The thing is, the media, remember, after Trump won, Google got together all their headsheds and they said, we'll never let this happen again. CNN, we let Trump win because we gave him too much airtime. We let him get his message out, therefore he won. CNN actually had a meeting where they said that the reason Trump won is because they gave him too much airtime to get his message out. That you cannot convince me that the media, because you it simply flies in the face of all reality, that the media is not out there shutting down conservative voices. You can't convince me of anything different. You cannot show me the facts that would uh, convince me otherwise. And not because I'm not willing to see the facts, but because the facts aren't there to support any other conclusion. When the head of Google stands up and apologizes and says that they will not let another Trump election happen. When CNN stands up and says, we let Trump win because we gave him too much airtime and got his message out. When the Democrats are not punished for literally having riots, paying people to riot at political events held by conservatives, you tell me what's going on. When charges are brought specifically based upon politics of the individual, convince me otherwise that this isn't happening. You're not wrong about that either, Fury, because as been commented on and proven time after time after time, every time they charge Trump with something new, every time these people come out, his support goes up. More people support him. That's just the way it is. Nina Turner, where's her article? Here it is. Nina Turner. Don't blame emasculated black men if Trump wins. Biden has not delivered material change. Nina Turner, progressive activist and former surrogate for presidential candidate Bernie Sanders, said on the nationally syndicated morning radio show, The Breakfast Club, that if Donald Trump wins, it's because Biden did not deliver and made black men feel emasculated. Well, it's just not Biden that makes black men feel emasculated. It's black women making black men feeling emasculated. Let's see if we can make this work.
Don't blame black people for this. Why we gotta keep saving folks?
Mm-hmm.
And black men have been emasculated in the Democratic Party. That's real. They don't see themselves, because to lift up black women is beautiful. We should, but not at the expense of black men. We have achieved what we have achieved so far in this country because we are together, and we can't pick up other people's bad habits. Now, white women may be able to lead a white man by the side of the road. Sisters can't do that. And the way that in this politics, the way the Democratic Party, the mothers of the movement, and black women delivered and black women saved, black men do not vote much differently than black women. So don't do that. If Trump wins, God forbid, it is going to be because this president and the Democratic Party did not deliver material changes for the people of this nation. It is going to be because this president and the Democratic Party led over genocide, are complicit in genocide in Gaza. That is going to be the reason why this man loses. So he needs to choose. Is he going to choose his coalition, or is he going to choose to allow the person who is clearly a neo-fascist to win? It will be his fault. We ain't blaming no voters, and black people definitely ain't taking the blame. They don't call out white women. Hell, white women vote for Trump in very high margins. Right. And don't forget, when President Obama was running, they were so mad that President Obama won the primary. I'm just speaking truth. So just say amen or say ouch. When President Obama beat then Senator Clinton, some of them white women were so mad they voted for McCain. So don't come. Don't bring it here. Don't bring it to the feet of black people. We always save in this country. Don't blame.
Now, her language is a bit rough, and I don't agree with everything she has said there. Okay. But the fact is a lot of what she said there is true. Well, you see, Spoonie, what they're saying is, the left, of course, is anti-Israel. The left is proclaiming anything Israel does here in Gaza is a genocide. It's much like the word racism, and you're a racist. It means nothing. During the summer months when I was working full time at the hotel, starting with spring break if I made it a week without being called a racist, is because I was on vacation. Being called a racist happened to me almost on a daily matter. Anytime I was dealing with a non-white, chances were 50-50 whether or not I was going to be called a racist. Especially if I was dealing with a black woman or a group of black women. The more black women involved in whatever conversation going on, the greater chance I'd be called a racist. So, it's just a matter of fact. Being called a racist means absolutely nothing anymore, and using the term genocide to describe what's going on in Gaza means absolutely nothing. Oh yeah, Spoonie. Oh, when I was working security, my God. Yeah. There was no term that was not being thrown at me. And I did my best to deflect a lot of it. Uh, I told a young guy one time, young black man, his girlfriend was egging him into fighting, into throwing punches at me. She was egging him on hard to start throwing punches. And I just, young man, young lady, I know what you see. You see an old white fat man here in front of you, and y'all hit the gym quite often. I can see that by the muscles on both of your arms. But don't don't uh, don't mistake this for the fact I won't hurt you. I may end up in the hospital, but we'll be in adjoining beds in the same room. Oh yeah, you're right, Spoonie. It's always the women egging it on because they're the ones that's not going to get hit. It's easy to egg somebody on when you're not the one going to suffer the consequences. Yeah, Tyra, I imagine, I mean, I know what black creators on, especially on TikTok, what black creators on TikTok who are more conservative or very conservative go through. Wolf Hat is, man, his comment section is hilarious sometimes with what he gets called. So he gets beat up a lot because he's and I can never remember the guy's name, but the black guy that does the white privilege cards. I can never remember his name, but I follow him because he used to put out a lot of good content. Anymore, most of his stuff is just pushing his white privilege card. Oh, Fury. Yeah. Uh, Sorry you have to go through that because that's a fear. That's always in the back of your mind. But then when you have to go get that blood work done, there's that case of fear right there. So, and let's see what else here. What else do I have here? Let's see. I talked. Oh, Mike Johnson. I can stop sharing this. Mike Johnson, House Speaker Mike Johnson. It's going to be interesting to see because there's a push to among the Republicans in the House to have him removed from his speaker position. Uh, MTG is pushing it. She's one of them. I would not be surprised if some of that Freedom Caucus, other members of the Freedom Caucus, aren't behind it. And Johnson, there's some words leaking out that Johnson's getting a little tired of everything that goes on being Speaker. It's not a pleasant job being Speaker of the House with Republicans because Republicans don't vote in lockstep. Not like the Democrats do. The Democrats, they're a bunch of little lemmings for the most part. They pretty much vote in lockstep with everything. The Republicans are fractious bunch. And you've got a couple different parts of the Republican Party in there. And I agree with each one of those, some of the positions of each one of those parts. There's some of the stuff by the Freedom Caucus I agree with. There's some of the stuff that the neocons section put out that I agree with. There's some of the stuff that other sections of the Republican Party put out, some of their positions I agree with. And they all have stuff I disagree with. Yes, he definitely broke his promise over the budget deal. And he's breaking his promise over immigration. So yeah, he is not doing well, and uh so it looks like he may be out before even the midterm elections. There's a possibility he may even decide to just step down and force a vote prior on a new speaker before the midterms. Or not midterms, but before this next election. And I can see what you're saying there, Tyre. You know, these people need to understand, a lot of these Republicans and Democrats, there's and I don't remember his name. He gave a very impassioned speech. I want to say he was out in North Carolina. Very impassioned speech that he was there to represent his constituents, the people who voted for him. There was a bill coming up that was going to, to spend a lot of money, and it was all based on a bunch of other stuff, a bunch of stuff. And not being from North Carolina, I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. But he said that I'm here to represent the people who vote for me, not the bureaucrats, not the people who analyze everything. I'm not here to rubber stamp what they come up with. This bill that's coming up here before me, my people don't like. They think it's a waste of money. So I'm going to vote against it. And he pointed out a member of his own party who was for the bill and said, and I'm sure if you talk to your people, because your people are right next door to my people, they would most likely be against it also. If you've actually talked or listened to anybody of your constituency. And that's a real impassioned speech. And I'm sitting there and I'm applauding it while I'm listening to it. Oh yeah, we have whips. We do have the whips and the vote counters within the party. In the House and in the Senate. Fury. So, but I really would. I wish I'd set bookmarked that YouTube that thing because it was an amazing. Let's see here. North Carolina Republican. I'll just put that in there and see if it happens to pop up. I'm doing a quick scroll down through and see if I can, because I know what the guy looks like. And the speech itself was absolutely votes for constituents. And I'm trying to scroll down through. Now I don't see it. Uh, Mark Robinson is another one that Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson of North Carolina is another one that gives some amazing, amazing speeches. And he really ought to be a rising star within the Republican Party, just going by his speeches. So now I can't find it while I find this one particular guy. Uh, and if I find it, I'll bookmark it and I'll play it back later in another show. But yeah, look up this guy, um, Robinson, and you will see some really amazing speeches by him. Because he's absolutely fantastic. I really, really am impressed by him. So let's see. I'm done with him. I'm done with the criminologist. I'm done with that. Okay. Yeah, I've really gone through a lot of things here fast because, like I said, I was really worried about my router or my internet staying up. So let's see here. What article here do I have? An ESPN, not yeah, ESPN. Sage Steele. She had an interview with Biden 2 years ago, back in March of 2021, so 3 years ago. She just left ESPN, so now she's out throwing out the tea about what it's like working at ESPN. And she was saying that when she interviewed Biden, it truly wasn't her interview. Her bosses at the head shed of ESPN wrote out every question that she asked. Not one question there she asked was actually her question. She was handed the list and said, "You asked this, worded as we have them worded here, and anything different than this will not make it to air." And, I suppose the veiled threats of being fired were tossed in there too. So I would imagine that happens quite frequently. Let's see here. What other news is making out? Got about 20 minutes left here. Bob Menendez has said he's not going to run for New Jersey for the Democratic primary, but then I'm surprised this is something the Democrats came after the Republicans in the House. wanting to know why they hadn't kicked out George Santos. He's a disgrace. Look at all these charges that have been brought against him. Yada, yada, yada. He needs to be. So the Republicans kissed the Democrats' feet and kicked out George Santos. Meanwhile, the Democrats in the Senate, they haven't kicked out Bob Menendez yet. And Menendez has got at least a dozen federal corruption charges against him. That, I mean, it makes Torricelli look like a spoon feeder, makes him look like a piker. Let's see, let's see, charged with taking bribes of gold bars, cash, and Mercedes Benz. Helped one of the men get a meat certification deal with Egypt, and taking actions favorable to the Egyptian government. Helped another one get a Qatari deal, investment fund. It's not, I mean, we're talking not, being shady within the United States, but being shady overseas in the Middle East. Hey, Mr. Scott, how you doing today? But nobody has come to ask why the Democrats haven't kicked him out of the party yet, kicked him out of office, and still allowed him to cast a vote in the Senate. So, I mean, let's see here. I mean, if they would, if in the Senate, the state legislator or the governor can select a replacement senator. It's not like it has to go up for a public vote like it does in the House. There doesn't have to be a special election. So even though there's only 48 Democrats in the Senate, you got Bernie and a few others who align with the Democratic Party, giving them their majority. So for a few days there, the Democrats would not be in control of the Senate until the new senator from New Jersey, which would be another Democrat, of course, got appointed and sworn in. I didn't realize that it was that narrow of a lead there. I'd forgotten it was that narrow of a lead. So, but yeah, the Democrats, it's if they would lose, it's at 51 to 49 in the Senate, because they've got 48 senators and 3 independents who caucus with the Democrats to give them their 51 member lead. So, okay, let me get rid of that. No, I'm not interested in that. Oh, yeah, we are sending bombs now to Israel. U.S. has proceeded with approval of 1,000 more bombs to Israel. Yay! I believe we should be supporting Israel, but oh, this is interesting here. A school in uh, Oregon refused to send the class curriculum. Oh no. Did I lose my internet connection? Please tell me I didn't lose my internet connection. Crap. I don't know. Can you guys hear me? Because it looks like I've lost my internet connection. Oh, you're saying I'm still here? Okay, because I try. Ah, okay. Because I got internet. Phew. Okay. Yeah, definitely scared old man noises because my phone was showing I had no internet connection. And I tried to open a page on my computer and it went to nothingness. So, let's see here. What is this bit of mess here that they got? Okay, let me share this. This is going to be the last thing I talk about because that scares got me. All right. Parent in Oregon allegedly asked for a copy of his kid's school's sex ed curriculum and the school refused to send it. They only allowed him to see it within the school walls on a school computer where he snapped screenshots. Why are schools hiding lesson plans? This ought to be illegal for schools to hide lesson plans from the parents. The lesson plans should be public. They should be published on the school's website. Let's see here. Gender identity, a person's sense of self in relation to gender, assigned gender, sex at birth, gender expression, how a person presents himself, sexual orientation, a person who's sexually attracted, to behavior, how a person behaves sexually, identity, what a person calls themselves. Then romantic orientation, who a person is romantically attracted to. Example, Casey, they, them. Okay, I'm not going to go through all that. Wow. why a school should not uh, get away with not presenting their entire curriculum online is amazingly stupid. I don't understand how they could get away with that. Why they would think to get away with that. So, doing a quick look here to see if anything's popping up here on Twitter that I need to talk about. Uh, oh, they're talking the Mayorkas impeachment. Schumer is doing his best not to hold the impeachment process, to hold up, to impede the impeachment process of Mayorkas. Oh, this one will make some people happy as all get out. Will this article open up? Yes. For those who, okay, National Review article, so we'll go there. But for those of us who enjoy the adult beverage on occasion, Biden administration quietly maneuvering to recommend Americans give up drinking. The Biden administration is maneuvering behind the scenes to ensure federal government abandons its current alcohol intake recommendations in favor of a teetotaling approach. Do I see a repeat of prohibition? The Biden administration is violating federal law by delegating responsibility for the development of the alcohol intake guidelines to a sub-agency of HHS rather than to the secretary himself as part of a plan to get the government to the recommend Americans to abstain from alcohol. House Oversight Committee James Comer argued in a Thursday, yada yada yada. I am not a member of the National Review. I can't afford them. So, yeah, that I don't have that article, but that wouldn't surprise me. That would not surprise me one bit. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. What are we, Muslim all of a sudden? Yeah, really, Neil. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream, mostly because I've covered everything. I just sort of rapid fired through everything because internet issues here. So I want everybody to have a good day now. Enjoy yourselves. Tomorrow's fun stream, no politics allowed. I will be up approximately, let's see here. I will try to squeeze in a 2 hour nap this afternoon, this evening. Well, actually, this evening, but I will be excluding that nap by the time that stream comes around. Let's see, So as you see, hey Snuggy Bear, as you see, my internet went out just as I was trying to end the stream. So I pressed end, just as I pressed end stream, I lost my internet. So once again, try one more time. Y'all have a great day. Be with the ones you love and love the ones that you're with. Bye.